Hello everyone, welcome back to a channel, and today we are going to see the distortion. In this video I'm going to cover the distortion in Nuke, how to do distortion setup and when you need to use this one, and some of the gizmos to do a distortion in a Nuke. So let's dive into it. I have some images here which we are going to see some of the different distortions. So the first you will see the water distortion. So as you can see, the water is dripping on the glass, and you will see this we are basically calling this one is distortion, as you can see. So the light is reflecting on the both sides of this water drip. And the next one you will see this one. This is what we call the heat distortion. As you can see, it's coming from this jet engine, and as you can see, it's basically warping the background. As you can see, the distorting the background basically, as you can see. And the next one is the water distortion. As you can see, the water ripples. So as you can see, these are water ripples, aka the water distortion. So as you can see here, as you can see, we can see the hand is fairly distorted under the water. And this is the fire distortion. As you can see, also we call the heat distortion. As you can see, the fire is here, but you can see the background is completely distorted because of the heat distortion. So these are some of the distortion examples, and we have a more distortion, like if you seen in a movie like laser distortion, and explosion also have a heat distortion. I mean the distortion basically. These are some of the distortion example, and let's see how you can do in Nuke with plugin and with Gizmo and without Gizmo. So I have this setup here which is going to show you the flow basically. So we have this B pipe here, and we have this A pipe here, and as you can see, I'm adding a distortion basically in a A pipe. You can also add a distortion in a B pipe, but this is I'm just showing you the flow basically. So this is my element here, and here I'm adding a distortion using a copy note and the IDistort. Okay, so the IDistort is basically in the Nuke we have for the distortion and warping and all that stuff. We have a couple of more, but this is the basic idea. Just add a channel, distortion channel here, and use IDistort, and then merge your this one to the background. Okay, so let's see the couple of examples of how to set up the proper distortion layer. So we can use in IDistort and also the STMap. So let's see. So as you can see, I have this setup here, and if I view this one, I have this image here. As you can see, I have some of the distortion setup here. So let's go first one by one. And in the first one, as you can see, I'm using this background input here itself, and I'm using a copy note, and I'm using a noise. I want to use this noise as my distortion map. So what I did here, I plug this one here, and in my copy note, as you can see, what I am doing here basically, I'm connecting this A pipe, and what I am doing, I'm taking red and green from this A pipe and putting red and green into forward U and forward V in my B pipe. So if I view from here, I have this forward channel, and as you can see, I have this kind of image. If I disable these two, let me disable. So as you can see, for the distortion you only need two channels, red and green. As you can see, red and green you need in forward U or forward U V, or you can use backward U or backward V. So these are the default channels in Nuke. You can see in the copy note, and also you can create more channel, like is by default also created the motion which is backward. As you can see, it's backward, and this one is forward. You can use this channel in IDistort. So what I did here in IDistort, as you can see, it's already distorted. So what I did in IDistort, I want to affect the distortion in all layers first of all, and the second is UV channel. So in my case, I'm using motion, but if I use forward, the both are the same. And this is the UV scale amount, which is determined distortion amount basically. So I set it this 20, and in the end I added a remove. So I can remove or keep only the RGB, because we can have the forward and motion channel also. So I keep the RGB. So cleaning my layers here. So this is the basic setup. You only need a copy, IDistort, and your main distortion input here. So these are the basic setup here, and as you can see, I directly plug it the noise here. But when you are doing any distortion or anything, make sure when you view this one, like I'm viewing my motion here, and if I sample any pixel, you need some negative values. As you can see, I have some negative values here and some positive values here. For the distortion, you need negative and positive values, so it will distort properly. So that's the idea. So as you can see, I have some of the negative and positive values here, but I need to increase that one. So that's why I use a grade here. If I open the grade, you will see I'm affecting, as I said, its distortion channel require only two channels, red and green. In the first one, I'm affecting the red channel. In the second one, I'm affecting the green channel. So if I enable one by one, as you can see, now if I sample, now I have more negative values. If I enable this one also, see, now as you can see, I have more negative values. Like this black one, these are going in negative direction, as you can see. And if I view this one in normal, like that, I'm copying here, and now I'm doing my distortion. As you can see, if I disable these two, as you can see, you can basically manipulate your map, distortion map. So this is my distortion map. I can do anything here. Let's see if I add a blur here, for example, and if I do this one, so as you can see, it's basically averaging all the things, and as you can see, it's look like water. It look like water painting. See, 15. So it's basically averaging, and you can see this final image, and I can increase this amount or reduce this amount, like that. Okay, so this is the IDistort method, and we have couple of more options here how you can use your distortion map properly. This one is the very basic one. Just add your grade node and you good to go. And let's first see the STMap, and then we will come back to this other options here. So this is the STMap version here. If I view this one, STMap, as you can see, it's also doing the same thing, distorting the background. And in this one, what I did, we have a STMap also here, and what I did, I added a noise and I key mix basically. So as you can see, we have a couple of things here, and you can use this one, distortion basically. As you can see, I can delete this one. I can directly merge here, like that. As you can see, it's completely messed up, so I can reduce this amount. See, as you can see, and what I can do, I can add a blur here also, and I can blur this one. See, as you can see, we getting very interesting kind of effect here with the STMap. As you can see, if you want to know more about the STMap, I have a dedicated video about STMaps, so you can go and check that out. So as you can see, we getting very nice result here, as you can see. So this is the STMap version. So this one is very good also, and some of the gizmos we have, but my favorite is the PXF distort. So this is very famous in the industry. We will be also using this one to do a quick distortion and water distortion and heat distortion and all that. So in this one, you don't need to do anything. What you need to do, you just need to connect this lens to your distortion map. So in this case, I'm using the same noise, and I'm connecting this one here. And as you can see in the properties, we have a couple of settings. So first thing is the amount, and second one is the blur. So it basically doing the same thing what we are doing here. We are adding a blur in my distortion map here and here. What I did, the same thing we are doing here also. See, and the next one we have here the lens channel. So which channel we are using to distort this input. By default it's alpha, so you can change it. This one giving you the pretty same result. This one is very quick. You just need to plug it, and if you open this one, the group, it's a group, you will see they are using the IDistort itself. So it's just manipulating the channel, manipulating the distortion map here. As you can see, the main thing is the distortion map, how your distortion map is. So based on that, it will do distortion thing. So as you can see, they are copying the red and gray into forward view and forward V, the same thing what we are doing. So this is the basic idea of adding a distortion in a Nuke. You just need to you just need a map which you can add in this forward U and V channel, and then you can use IDistort, or what you can do, you can use this STMap here and do with the STMap. And if you worry about where this STMap is coming, it's basically just an expression. You can add this expression. You can pause the video and you can add that. So you can make that STMap and you can manipulate in the STMap. For example, if I add here a roto paint, see, I'm in the down, I'm adding a roto paint and I'm taking one smear and make my brush size bigger. Now you will see if I draw, see, I'm basically distorting this image how I want. So I have a video about it in the STMap tutorial. I cover everything related to the STMap, so just go and check that out. So meanwhile, let's see this other example, other setups what I did here. So we already saw this one, how to do that simple distortion setup with this noise. So here we are also using the noise, but instead of using the grade, what we are doing, we are doing a minus operation and we have a transform. So in here I'm adding a one transform, and if I open my transform, you will see I'm just transforming one pixel and I'm minusing this one. So as you can see, so it basically giving me this type of input. So as you can see, I'm in Y, I'm adding a 1, so I'm comparing with the original one, so I'm getting this one, and I'm also getting some negative values, as you can see. So that is what we want. We basically want negative values. As you can see, in white we have positive and in the blacks we have negative values. And the same thing I'm doing horizontally also, as you can see. So now we have a two maps, as you can see. So this one is basically look like a normal map, but we are using only two channels, not the blue one. So red and green only here. And then I'm using a one shuffle. So taking my A input in a green, as you can see, and my this one in a red. This is the red and this is the green. So I'm taking A input, taking A, adding green into green. So if I view this one, now we have this map. It basically look like normal map, but it's missing the blue one. So we don't have blue, we just have red and green channel. And then I'm doing the same thing. I'm just copying this one into my forward channel, as you can see, copying my forward channel. And then in the IDistort, I'm using this one. See, this one will give you very fine detail in the distortion, as you can see. So this is the map and we are getting this kind of distortion, as you can see here. We are getting this shape, as you can see, and here also. So this is pretty good. And what you can do the same thing. You can add a blur here, and as you can see, if I do a blur, I think this one is way too much, and if I reduce the amount of blur, as you can see, let's increase this one 20 and increase this amount here in the IDistort, then you will see what I mean. See, let's increase 500, as you can see, and if I reduce this amount now. The blur is very important when you are doing any type of distortion in Nuke. So as you can see, so it's look like, so as you can see now, it's like we are getting the specular, as you can see. In this is like a glass is reflecting and the plastic kind of stuff. So if I make a 20, let's make a 10, let's make a this 2. See, now you are getting, see, now I'm getting very fine detail, as you can see, very specular, like plasticky kind of look. So let's make this 5, let's reduce this one 200. Yeah, see, so this is the way, this is the another way of manipulating your map here. And here is the another way. I mean, we are doing the same operation but in a very simple manner. As you can see, without using these 4 nodes, we are using only 2 nodes. So what we are doing, we are using this noise and we are using a matrix. So I will cover this one, how to use this matrix, but for now these are the settings in my matrix, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm just comparing the original to this 1 pixel offset. So as you can see, and making my pass and doing the same thing, same distortion. If I add a blur here, you will see averaging and you get this kind of distortion. Okay, and this is the another way of using this one. We can also use STMap. because the STMap also have a red and green channel, and we can use that STMap input also in IDistort, because remember we just need 2 channels, so we have a red and green channel in the STMap, and for that I am just doing adding a noise here to break this STMap basically, and then I'm using to distort this one. But I think but as you can see, it's not doing a proper way, because as I said, this IDistort requires some negative values. So if I do a grade here and black and clamp, and if I add some negative values, as you can see we are getting some negative values. So if I add some negative values like that, and if I view here, it should work. Yeah, see, as you can see, it's working. See, oh, it's completely distorting, but you get the idea what I mean. So it's working. I think the amount is way high, so I can reduce like that or increase like that. So it's all depend on how your map is. So you can also use this one to distort the input, and like this one I already show you this STMap setup and this Gizmo. So basically this is the distortion setup in Nuke, and this is the way you can add distortion in your comp. What we are basically, we are adding a normal distortion here, and then we are just comparing the pixels around it, and then we can also use the STMap in the IDistort, and you can obviously we can use the STMap to do a distortion. So as you can see here, this one, so these are some distortion guide, so you can basically apply and make your own tool. So what I did, I take this concept here and I made my own tool. So I will show you distortion. As you can see, I have this tool here. If I plug this one directly, so if I plug this one to my image, so as you can see, it's already doing a distortion. If I increase the amount, as you can see, and this is the offset one. I also have an input channel here. So what I mean by that, if I do one checkerboard here, and let's use this one as a map. If I connect this one here, as you can see now, everything is getting distorted. As you can see, if I increase this, as you can see, everything is coming inside this boxes. See, so this is the distortion setup, and if I open this tool, you will see it's very simple. Just forward this one, forward channel, IDistort, and just merging, that's it. So these are the setup. So these are the distortion in Nuke. So if you have any questions regarding this one, please let me know in the comment below. I will try to help you, and we will see you in a very next one. Have a great day.